Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, is vowing to stay focused ahead of his fight on June 15th against German Tom Schwartz as talk of a trilogy with Deontay Wilder starts to bubble to the surface. Not just a rematch, a trilogy. That is coming from his co-promoter Bob Arum, who he is now working with under his new co-promotional deal, and this Schwartz fight is the first fight under that new arrangement. So a trilogy, that's sort of come out. Maybe we were expecting that potentially, but this talk is coming well ahead of any rematch and well ahead of Tyson Fury's next couple of fights. So Fury's got Schwartz on June 15th, and then he's got another potential fight in September or thereabouts. That's what Tyson Fury has been talking about. So I'll get to Bob Arum's statements in a moment, but I'll just go to Tyson Fury's statements. He is saying, and this is, bear in mind, Deontay Wilder had announced the rematch with Tyson Fury about a week or so ago in Anthony Joshua Fight Week. And Tyson Fury has been very quick to not say too much, and probably because he knows it's actually quite a way away on the horizon, but he says Deontay Wilder is talking about fights that could happen in 2020. I have not even fought my fight on Saturday yet. I could get knocked out in that one. We never count chickens before they hatch. He, in brackets Wilder, has to get past Ortiz, and I'm probably going to fight in September or October. I don't know against whom. I don't get involved in that too much. When I've got a fight on the horizon, I don't look past the first initial fight. Tyson Fury's statements. And I think wise to do that, and maybe he's looking at the situation because obviously Wilder, he's got another fight with Ortiz ahead of a rematch, and Fury will have to see what he does. He's got Schwartz and then who knows what, but that is the best part of 8 or 9 months away when they're talking for a rematch between the pair. And JD's Wilder's co-manager, he's come out making statements that maybe not March or April, but even as early as February. So it could be 8 months away, but possibly as far as 10 months away. So it still is quite a ways away. And I think a couple of things here before I get to Arum's statements. Tyson Fury, he's got to actually get through these fights. He's got to look good. He's got to keep progressing with his comeback. If he is focusing too far down the line, that could be a recipe for disaster. There was a lot of argument from fans about Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz that maybe Anthony Joshua was overlooking him, that there was too much comment on Deontay Wilder from Joshua. There were too many distractions for Joshua. So Fury is obviously trying to keep this a little bit tighter and not really look too far past what's right in front of him. But in a way, that's also hard because Tyson Fury's had a whole string of media commitments. He has been talking about all manner of things, and actually most of them have not been Tom Schwartz, his opponent on June 15th. So he says he's not looking past him, but he certainly has been talking a whole number of issues that are not Tom Schwartz. So, there are a few ingredients that exist here that existed in the lead up to the upset of Anthony Joshua. And I'm not saying that Tom Schwartz is going to upset Tyson Fury, because I think we all know that Tyson Fury is a very capable boxer, and that fight on June 1st would have been a timely reminder that he has to knuckle down and focus on Tom Schwartz and not look past him. And in any account, Andy Ruiz Jr. is a better fighter than Tom Schwartz. He was more proven at the point that he fought Anthony Joshua. Tom Schwartz is a bit of an unknown quantity, but generally regarded as a guy who Tyson Fury should beat and beat handily enough. And this might be a fight where Tyson Fury can get a stoppage at some point in the fight. We'll have to see. I mean, all of this is dependent on the fight itself and how he actually performs, because it's not just that styles make fights, as Nathan Gorman has said, performances make fights. And we saw Andy Ruiz perform as he could against Anthony Joshua, and he got the upset. So Schwartz does have some sort of chance in this fight because it is a fight, but I'm not expecting him to beat Tyson Fury, who's got the height, the reach, and all-round advantages. We don't know necessarily about power, because when Tyson Fury wants to load up, he can put some mustard on those shots. Very long levers, 85-inch reach. If he does really plant his feet and sort of put some mustard into his shots, As we saw against Deontay Wilder, he was able to buzz Wilder in their fight. So, yeah, Tyson Fury, he is obviously making the right noises here. And Frank Warren, he has been warning Tyson Fury, don't overlook this guy. We just saw what happened. He says Tyson Fury will have to very much be on his guard. People keep talking about easy or knockover opponents, but Tyson has got a job to do on June 15. Tom Schwartz has got the chance to change his life in Las Vegas. Schwartz is a big guy who can punch and is also young and unbeaten. He will take inspiration from Ruiz. Tyson, though, is not complacent and has been training hard since his fight with Wilder. If he did think he was in for an easy night's work, he might just think again after watching a big favourite tumble in New York. And I guess the thing to take out from there is actually someone like Tom Schwartz, who saw a massive underdog in Andy Ruiz Jr. come through and get the upset, he might actually take something from that may galvanise his sort of spirit heading into the fight and give him a bit more confidence to try and mix it up with Tyson Fury instead of being stuck on the outside getting jabbed to death. We will have to see. Maybe he won't have the tools to actually get to Tyson Fury and do the job, but I'm sure he will come to fight, and let's hope that he does. In terms of Bob Arum, so why would he start talking Trilogy? We'll come back to that question. But he says Wilder vs Fury 2 is going to happen. It will be a terrific fight. The first fight was terrific. This fight will be even better, and he's talking to World Boxing News here. But no jumping. Anything can happen to Fury, and I don't think it will. That happened to Anthony Joshua. And when he was asked whether a third fight could be on the cards for Wilder and Fury, Arum said, yes, I can assure you of this. There's a lot of good heavyweight fights who have had trilogies. This would be a trilogy. We've had great trilogies in the past. Ali vs. Frazier, Ali vs. Norton, they were all trilogies. And then when asked about, well, what would happen with purse splits, all that sort of stuff, well, the percentages would change, as in the winner would get more on that third fight than the loser. It's all based on who wins the second fight. And I know that the media is probing Bob Arum here, but the fact that he is so willing to talk about a third fight, not just a second fight, as Tyson Fury says, they're talking about fights that are the best part of a year out from now. And some of that from Bob Arum, I think he has to paint a picture for fans here, because what have we got right now? We've got Tyson Fury in with Tom Schwartz on June 15th. No one was calling for that, but it's the fight that we have. Much like, these other fights that have been happening, even the rematch between Wilder and Ortiz, no one was really desperate for that. They wanted other big fights involving, the likes of Fury, Wilder, and Joshua, a combination of those fighters or a couple of other names within the top 10. And then Fury's going to be fighting someone else later this year, and it's unlikely to be, as we already know, it's not going to be Wilder, it's not going to be Joshua. So it's going to be someone that we'd rather not see again. It might be a slightly better name than Tom Schwartz, but what Bob Arum has to do is sort of paint a picture of the roadmap to the big fights, because 2019 is the year of the wait. Sure, we've had the shock upset with Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz Jr., but they will be rematching. Apart from that, most of the big names are sort of circling each other. We've had the talk of these massive fights, but it hasn't materialized for 2019. So 2020 seems to be the year when they will come to fruition, and money is a big part of that. They're sort of marinating these fights, building them bigger, especially with Tyson Fury going to ESPN. They need to build them up on the network. They've made no secret of this, but Arum is trying to sort of paint the picture of where things will be going. And it also sort of dampens down some of the talk of these, what some would see as substandard opponents in like Tom Schwartz and potentially whoever he faces next, because in all likelihood it still won't be someone that we would have wanted to see Tyson Fury in against. But they are designed, these fights, to try get him in front of a big audience on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and ESPN Plus is where this first fight is going to be, to try sell him to their audience and really try to make him part of their life, so they know who Tyson Fury is ahead of a big fight with Deontay Wilder, which is going to be on pay-per-view, and it's all designed around making money off the pay-per-view. So Fury, I always have a question with this. Even though he's saying the right things, he's not overlooking Tom Schwartz, even though he's almost not been talking about Tom Schwartz, talking about all manner of things but Tom Schwartz. These sorts of takeover fights, which effectively Schwartz looks to be, never say never until the fight, but it does look like this is a high-level stay-busy fight to some extent. Can he stay motivated until those big fights? Because he will miss the spotlight. He will miss that big fight atmosphere, and we saw he was reveling in it ahead of that fight with Deontay Wilder, which many people believed that he did win, although it was ruled a draw. There are a number of fighters that fight to the level of their opponent, and occasionally Tyson Fury has been in some stinkers, so we will see what happens here, but I do worry, can he stay motivated when he's not in these big fights? Hopefully whatever's in September or October, should he get past Tom Schwartz, which I fully expect, hopefully that will be for something significant in terms of maybe a piece of hardware. It'd be good if he could sort of challenge for a belt of some description, even if it was, the WBA regular title. How feasible that is, it's hard to say, but if he's just on another Tom Schwartz type of fight, it's a little lackluster. And this is why Bob Arum is trying to drum up the, see what we've got down the line. We're going to have this rematch, but not only that, we're going to have the trilogy. They're going to have a trilogy. But Fury himself, he isn't looking past Schwartz from what he's saying, although we will see what happens on Saturday. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.